Hong Kong moves at a relentless pace. Between the traffic and the vertical density of the skyscrapers, the city's energy turns from exhilarating to exhausting. When that sensory overload hits, travelers face a dilemma. You need a psychological reset, but you don't want to burn a whole day taking a ferry to a remote island or hiking up a mountain. That brings us to Chi Lin Nunnery and Nan Lian Garden. It's a massive, quiet oasis dropped right in the middle of this concrete jungle. We're talking about more than 3.5 hectares of pristine gardens and ancient timber architecture sitting right next to a major transit hub. The government and the nunnery designed the space as a rigid spiritual environment. Strict rules govern the grounds to ensure the chaos of the city never crosses the threshold. Because every element is landscaped after the specific rules and regulations of the Tang Dynasty, the complex functions as a literal Buddhist sanctuary. Treating it like a standard city park ignores the deep spiritual intention behind its design. To understand how to visit Chi Lin, you must first understand how Hong Kong's temples operate. Most famous spots, like Man Mo Temple, are in the transactional category. These are busy spaces. People come to solve earthly problems. They bring physical offerings to petition the gods, leaving the air thick with smoke from massive hanging incense coils. Chi Lin Nunnery operates as a transcendental monastery. The focus here remains internal, prioritizing quiet contemplation and the cultivation of the self. That means eliminating chaotic interactions entirely. The environment is stripped down to strict order, minimalistic aesthetics, and deep quiet. This matrix shows the stark divide between the two. They differ entirely in primary action, ambient noise level, architectural style, and how cameras are used. Entering a transcendental space with a tourist mindset, expecting vibrant noise and photos, creates a severe cultural mismatch. You feel this shift the moment you arrive in Diamond Hill. You step out of the MTR and walk past the heavy, modern concrete of the Fung Tak estate. Then you cross the threshold of the Mountain Gate. This entrance serves a very specific psychological function. It physically forces you to leave worldly distractions outside. Inside, the architecture is entirely Tang Dynasty style. Everything is constructed from massive cedar and cypress timber, held together by intricate mortise and tenon joints, completely without a single nail. Building something this precise takes serious dedication. Today, it stands as the largest handmade wooden structural complex in the world. There is a trade-off here regarding antiquity. The entire complex was meticulously rebuilt in the late 1990s, using computer modeling to ensure exact structural accuracy, so it feels flawlessly pristine rather than weathered by centuries of use. You aren't walking through the chaotic, accumulated history of an old folk temple. You are experiencing a modernized, perfect representation of an imperial era. That perfection extends to the main courtyards. The precise symmetry of the manicured bonsai trees and the still lotus ponds demand slow movement and hushed tones. Casual tourist behaviors are strictly prohibited. There is no loud talking, no eating on the grounds, and no disruptive, fast-paced walking. The most critical rule applies inside the halls. There is an absolute ban on photographing the deity statues. Inside the halls, statues are viewed as consecrated vessels housing spiritual energy. Attempting to capture their image through a lens disrupts the sacred function of the space. Instead of documenting everything, visitors are expected to practice the art of the respectful gaze. You are welcome to photograph the architecture and the gardens, but you leave your camera down when facing the deities and the worshippers. These behavioral rules are the necessary price of admission. They are exactly what maintains the profound serenity you came to experience in the first place. The adjacent Nan Lian Garden enforces this same level of Oliver through a strict one-way circular routing. It dictates exactly how you move through the space, curating your perspective of the landscape at every turn. The visual centerpiece of this route is the Golden Pavilion. Every rock, bridge, and tree surrounding it is meticulously placed according to traditional Tang-style landscaping rules. Even the dining is carefully curated. Tucked behind a man-made waterfall is Chi Lin Vegetarian, a highly regarded restaurant integrated right into the garden's design. The trade-off here is straightforward. You get an MSG-free, premium Buddhist dining experience in a beautiful setting, but it requires advanced booking and a higher budget compared to grabbing casual street food in Mongkok. To gain access to this flawless, curated beauty, you have to completely surrender the desire for spontaneous exploration and casual consumption. Is a Kowloon excursion worth the trip? We evaluate this by plotting required effort against psychological impact. Chi Lin plots here, highly accessible, requiring minimal effort, while offering a massive escape from city stress. Compare that to distant hikes, which eat up your itinerary. Chi Lin offers a significant psychological shift from the city's intensity, achieved with less travel time. Your decision comes down to what you actually want from a temple visit. If you want fortune sticks, cultural spectacles, and vibrant chaos, skip this and head to a transactional space like Man Mo Temple. If you're hunting for pristine symmetry and perfect landscaping, this is your paradise, provided you keep your lenses pointed outward at the architecture, not the worshippers. And if sensory overload has finally caught up with you, this is the ultimate required remedy to clear your head. It comes down to understanding what anthropologists call spiritual grammar. Every sacred space has its own specific language. Traveling with respect means learning to read the environment. At Chi Lin Nunnery, that language is expressed through profound, intentional silence.